Hey y'all, this is going to be the third and final video in the Grand Northern Conspiracy series. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, click the eye at the top right corner to go to the playlist. And for those of you that have seen parts 1 and 2, I'm glad you stuck around, so we'll jump right in. Previously, I hinted at Lady Dustin also becoming a player in this conspiracy. Now I'll explain a little, and maybe more parts to this will start coming together a bit more. In part 2, I briefly told how Harwood Stout, who is sworn to Lady Dustin, and Horsebane Umber, who is sworn to Manderley, were seen speaking with each other. It's not really known what they were speaking of, but it had to be important to be mentioned, right? It just so happens that now, Lady Dustin is gracing Winterfell with her presence. After the fake Arya wedding, Theon is kind of just wandering around Winterfell. He runs into Lady Dustin and a few of her men looking for the crypts. So he points them in the right direction, and she and her men spend some time digging out the entrance. So why would anyone really make an effort to find it with so much going on to worry with? That's because Harwood Stout has told her what is really going on, and that Bran and Rickon were still alive and had managed to stay that way by hiding in the crypts. She's actually looking for evidence to see if that's true. She finds her evidence when she realizes that a few of the swords by the statues are missing. Lady Dustin has no real love for the Starks, but she also hates Ramsay. Ramsay murdered Demeric Bolton, who was also her nephew. If Ramsay inherited the North, Barrington and its people, and really all of the people in the North, would probably suffer tremendously. He's very murderous and very selfish, and pretty much just doesn't give a damn. Whatever she feels about the Starks, she knows they can be trusted to do right by as many as they can, because they have proven to do so for thousands of years. So by the time she leaves the crypts, she's realized that everything she's been told is true, and she's made up her mind to join in on the conspiratorial fun. And she's bringing in the Wiswells with her. She reminds Roger Wiswell that they have all lost people at the Red Wedding, and the North remembers. Wiswell has scouts that have been on the search for Stannis. The scouts go out, and none come back. Remember that Robert Glover has gathered an army, and we're just outside of Winterfell? These scouts may have orders to get in contact with Robert to let him know what's going on the inside. Roose has known for some time that Manderley has been plotting against him. Manderley starts antagonizing Freys over dinner, so it may be that his part in all of the plans may be coming to an end. Remember, Manderley probably doesn't plan on leaving Winterfell alive. Roose may not be completely certain what he's up to, but when Manderley starts picking fights, he's actually visibly becoming a little uneasy. Manderley knows that Lady Dustin and the Wiswells have finally joined in, which would mean nearly every house in the North has turned on the Boltons. Since Manderley has been trying to start fights with the Freys, Bolton's best option would be to send them both out to fight Stannis, which would be great for Manderley. He could turn on the Freys and could go on his own and find Stannis to make nice and take Winterfell back from the Boltons with Stannis' help. Unfortunately for Stannis, he doesn't quite understand how the North works. He thinks that based on their honor, if he took back Winterfell, they would follow him. This is definitely not the case. He has the wrong god, which the North will never tolerate, and the North just loves the Starks more and don't really give a damn about some king in the South. Previously, Jon had warned Melisandre that the North will never tolerate insults to their heart trees. This advice was ignored. She has wildlings burn pieces of the trees while they cross the wall. Alysanne Mormont also witnesses a red god sacrificial stake burning while with Stannis and is disgusted by it. She and several other Northmen are invited to dinner afterwards and decline. She may be having her own council with everyone. As long as Stannis and company keep to the Red God and continually insult the old gods, he will never have any hold in the North. The North has sworn no vows to Stannis. This conspiracy was started long before Stannis ever came into the picture for them. They would have continued with or without him, and now that Stannis is nearing Winterfell, he desperately needs the North to help make up for a big portion of his army. So if Stannis asks them to join his war after he's already helped get rid of the Boltons, what can he do if the North says no? Well, absolutely nothing. The North is larger, with more forces, and apparently much more schemier than Stannis ever will be, but Manderley can join up with him after getting rid of the Freys to get back Winterfell for a Stark. Don't forget, Davis thinks he has gotten Manderley to swear his entire house to Stannis, which would go a long way into fooling Stannis to help him. So let's do a very quick recap. Robb has left Jon Snow as his heir. It started with just 5 knowing this. It has now ended with every house in the North knowing. Thus far, no one has gotten word to Jon. Catelyn is now Lady Stoneheart. She is most likely on her way to Howland Reed, but currently somewhere in the Neck using it as an HQ. She is now on a mission to get all of the houses together with a Brotherhood without banners to get the North back from the Boltons. Manderley is apparently pretty damn devious and has sent Davis on a mission to find Rickon and Shaggy Dog while simultaneously taking out some Freys, helping Mance free fake Arya, bring together the last remaining houses to join in, and scaring the crap out of Roose. As for Stannis, he's been unknowingly a big bonus and helped the North and ultimately gained nothing for himself, at least from the North. Now, as far as the books, that's all it's written. The groundwork has been laid out and honestly was extremely easy to miss. Now, as far as the show, very little of this has been played out. After Robb's death, the Northern armies have pretty much just dispersed and they aren't really talked about much. I think that the writers just don't have enough time to add all of this. But remember the scenes from the last trailers of the horses in the big battle? Those could possibly be Bolton and Stark men, and it adds up. If they're going to make the moves, it has to be in this season, and those quick scenes are what made the light bulb go off for me. I don't know how the show is going to say that the North has been plotting this all along without the viewer catching on, but finding out is going to be fun. At this point, Jon is dead, both in the books and the show, for the time being, but he's not dead forever. So what does this mean for him? For starters, when he dies and is essentially reborn, it will free him from his vows. And besides, who would want to stick around for some people who are supposed to be your brothers but then murdered the hell out of you? And remember the quick flash of the scene, the giant 1-1 busting down Winterfell's gates with what appeared to be wildlings behind him? I'm theorizing that because the Night's Watch has pretty much fallen, Jon has no choice but leave. And if that's the case, Winterfell would be the place to go to try to protect the rest of the world from the coming winter. And doing so, not only would he definitely become King of the North, but he would also fulfill his vows to shield the realms of men. With this, the Grand Northern Conspiracy has pretty much been finished. The result of everyone's efforts will be shown either successful or not in the next season of the show, and probably the next book. Again, thanks for sticking it out for this quick and condensed version of the Grand Northern Conspiracy. If there's anything you'd like me to elaborate on further, just stop by the comments section, Facebook, or Twitter, and I will do my absolute best to answer them. So you made it to the end of the video. We really do appreciate all the support you've all shown. If you like this video, go on ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. It lets us know that we're doing something everyone enjoys. I'll make another Game of Thrones video once this season starts, and again, thanks for watching our videos.